Spine gang, I would argue that right now, it's in many ways a lot harder to be healthy than in any time in human history. There is a ton of obstacles out there. I mean, just look around. Obesity, through the roof. Mental emotional problems, through the roof. Anxiety, depression, through the roof. It's really tough out there. And the reason why is because it's kind of hard to be healthy. And ultimately, there are a lot of aspects to your health. You know, the one that we think about the most, and the reason why you're here watching this video, is because of your physical health, but there's also a spiritual component of your health. And I would argue that's probably the most important one. But then you've also got your mental health, your emotional health. There's a social component to your health, and there's even a financial component to your health. And those all contribute to your health. And I would argue that health means the measurement of your quality of life, because as the quality of your health in each of those different domains improves, so too does your quality of life. And not only do they contribute to your quality of life, but they are all very much interrelated. As soon as you start improving one aspect of your health, all of the other ones improve as well. So let's talk about your physical health. And this whole thing is super overwhelming because ultimately health is not something you can work at for a short time, really hard and intense, and then you just get those benefits long term, right? It's not something you can buy. I don't care how much money you have, you can't buy health. It's something you have to work and live at. In your physical health, we can kind of break down into two broad categories. Category number one is what goes into and onto your body. Right? So we're talking about nutrition, we're talking about toxins, we're talking about beauty products, we're talking about clothing. What goes in and on your body. We're also talking about environmental factors. And then the other one we can talk about as a broad category of what you do. That means posture, that means daily biomechanical habits, like are you sitting for a living? Are you doing manual labor? And we're also talking about exercise. So we've got those two broad categories. What you put in and on your body, and what you do. So where do you start? Well, ultimately, what you're going to want to do is look at what's going to give you the best bang for your buck in terms of what your goals are. And I know for a lot of you guys, your goal is going to be to lose body fat and up your muscle. And you're going to think, man, I should start with an exercise routine. No, that's not where you need to start. You need to start with what goes in and on your body, because you will never, ever, ever out-train a bad diet. Now, let's say what goes in and on your body is pretty good and you can maintain a healthy weight, you know, and you feel pretty good, but you know, biomechanically, you're just not as strong as you want to be. There's flexibility maybe that's lacking, range of motion, you got some stiffness going on, and you just want to feel more youthful, exuberant. Okay, then you start with the exercise component of that. But the trick to this whole thing is that you need to focus on one thing. I don't know what your one thing is going to look like, but I can tell you about mine and Courtney's journey. And the first thing that we really started to work on as a family was cutting out processed sugar. And what that looked like was, at first we were just getting rid of the obvious stuff, right? No more sweets, no more candy, not doing that anymore. And then we started reading ingredients, right? And everything that we touched that we were going to either put into our bodies or bring into our house, we were reading ingredients and getting rid of anything with any kind of added sugar. And it's complicated because you got to really dive into this stuff. Sugar has 35 different names, right? Probably even more than that, 135 different names. But anything you tackle is going to be like that. And you tackle the one thing until you're not tackling it anymore, until it's just a part of your lifestyle, part of who you are, part of your identity and what you're about. And when you've got that one thing so totally, completely understood and integrated, then you work on the next thing, and not before that. And when you got that second thing totally integrated, so you're not even thinking about it anymore, it's just part of who you are, then you work on the next thing. And one step at a time, one thing at a time, this whole thing that we call health becomes manageable, becomes something you can work on. And as you make those changes sustainably as part of your lifestyle, you will see your quality of life improve long-term and for generations. I'm Dr. Marco Accordo. Live higher.